Hey, it's Craig. You may recognize me as Stuttering Craig from way back in the old internet days. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for finding me. If it's your first time finding me after a long time, do yourself a favor and join our little community by hitting the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that because we're growing just a little bit more every single day. People get together and we're reliving the internet back when it was fun, exciting, and just a little place of happiness instead of this horrible place we live in now. But I'm glad you guys have joined me today. We're going to be taking a look at the top 10 beat-em-ups from back in the old ScrewAttack days. Last week we looked at Pure Ownage, which was an amazing series from a very transcendent early internet series. We looked at that. So I encourage you to go back and watch some previous videos as well. Just go to my main page and go check out some more videos if you want to just kind of take a break. That is a great way to put this. I post these Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the middle of the day around noon Central Time, and it's just meant to be a nice little breath of fresh air to help you get through the day. So appreciate you guys. Also, speaking of appreciation, I appreciate your super thanks, and now more than ever. Lauren, thank you very much for your super thanks last episode. Travis, thank you very much for your super thanks. David Helmer, thank you very much for your super thanks as well down below. And Polecats Rock came in with a big $50 super thanks last video. Wow, thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate your support and the kind words down in the comments section. Okay, so before we get into the top 10, I just give me a minute real quick. I want to tell you guys something really fast. You guys know that I actually coach my daughter's soccer team. And this is something that as I moved away from video games, I'm extremely passionate about helping out young kids and coaching kids and helping them get the most out of themselves. My daughter's soccer team has grown over the last few years. They've been exceptional. We've expanded our rosters, and we have girls from all walks of life on our team. One of the things we're doing this year is we're actually taking the step to a competitive team against really high-level competition, hence the competitive theme. And what's crazy about this is it costs a lot of money to compete competitively. And there's some of the girls on the team, they literally can't afford it. So what I'm going to do between now and between the start of the next season is every single dollar that's made from ad revenue, from super thanks, from donations is going to go to contribute almost as if a scholarship for the players on my teams that can't afford it. These are 9 and 10-year-old girls that some of them, they literally just can't afford to play soccer at a high level. So I want to help subsidize the cost of that a little bit. So if at any time you guys have ever enjoyed my content and you guys would like to support me, you'll actually be supporting these young girls as they try to maximize their potential and learn life lessons, because that's the big thing. I realize that many of these girls will not play at a super high level, but they're learning basic life skills now. They're learning how to compete. They're learning teamwork. They're learning very important lessons, how to win, how to lose, and to do so with class. And that's really important to me. So if you guys have ever supported me, you guys can support me. I actually included a link down to a PayPal, which is amazing. Super thanks are awesome. And I do want to become the most super thanked channel in all of YouTube. But from strictly a revenue perspective, YouTube takes 30%. From a PayPal perspective, they take a percentage, much smaller percentage, is like 3 to 5%. So if you like to contribute through PayPal, you can there. If you don't have any money, but you have Amazon Prime, you know what? That's awesome. You can actually support me for free with your free Amazon Prime sub over at twitch.tv/stutteringcraig. And once again, by supporting me, you're actually supporting these girls. So it's something I'm passionate about. I appreciate you guys allowing me to just take a few minutes to tell you guys about that before we get into the video. I greatly appreciate your support, and I'll make sure I list off every single person who supports as best as I can in every single video as you guys come in. You'll hear me talk about this a little bit more throughout future videos. But like I said, I see this as an opportunity to better youth, and that's something I'm really passionate about. So with all that said, let's now take a step back. Let's take a breath and watch some fun stuff from the old internet days. I think this was legitimately probably our, within the first 5 top 10s that we did. It was very early on. It may have been the first top 10 we did on game trailers, legitimately. So let's go back and watch this. This was definitely 2007, early on game trailers. It's the top 10 beat 'em ups. And this list is totally going to be so far wrong. So as always, I'd like to hear your thoughts on games that would be on this list nowadays. Like I'm sure Scott Pilgrim wasn't even a thought in people's mind at this point. So let's go take a look at it. I'm sure this is super de-duper bad. Pump up the volume. Let's go.
In the 90s, there was a craze that hit and dominated gaming. Beat 'em ups.
All right, let's clarify. Not fighting games or platformers. We're talking multiplayer, ass-kicking, button-mashing awesomeness.
We want kicks, punches, arrows letting you know when to go, special moves, and most importantly, arcade-style gameplay.
So now that we got that out of the way, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And I'm Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 Beat 'em Ups.
That was like the most Screw Attack intro you could potentially have. just some of the things that are said in here.
Multiplayer, ass-kicking,
Beat 'em ups.
We want
All right,
ass
let's
kick.
clarify.
Here you
Not
go.
fighting games or platformers. We're talking multiplayer, ass-kicking, button-mashing awesomeness.
Right. Just ba-bam, 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 up in your face. Let's go with that. Okay. So let's get into this. I think number 10 is like Batman Returns, if my memory serves me correctly, which that wouldn't even come close to like the top 50 at this point. But hey, times change.
And I'm Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 Beat 'em Ups.
Oh, clip art. Yep, Batman. Here we go.
In a game that was actually better than the movie it was made after, Batman Returns is the
Ooh,
second
man, that's
best
gonna piss
Batman
people
game
off.
ever.
Do some people? Do you guys like the Batman Returns? I never liked Batman Returns. Like the second one with Michael Keaton. I know, apparently, I watched a documentary on YouTube, of all things, that there was supposed to be a third Michael Keaton Batman that never happened. Isn't that crazy? Because I guess Tim Burton was trying to make it too dark, which is crazy to think about now when you look at like Batman, and it's like looking at a black screen. It's amazing.
Crusader is known for his intelligence, but not in this game. Nope. It's all about throwing clowns into park
God,
benches,
that's so
glass
cool.
windows, and into each
Ching.
other. It's awesome.
Sure, it was pretty generic, but the soundtrack was
I'm probably gonna
sweet,
get
and
flagged
most
for
importantly,
music.
It was Batman.
Wait, that was it? That was it?
Each
What?
other. It's awesome.
Sure, it was pretty generic, but the soundtrack was sweet, and most importantly, it was Batman.
That's it. Yes, it was kind of generic, which, by the way, makes it a top 10 beat 'em up game ever. Okay, I'm gonna question our logic there.
One of the first great hack
Oh,
and
Golden
slash
Axe, let's
beat 'em ups,
go.
Golden Axe was sweet because
Woo.
of all the options it gave you to inflict pain.
You could choose from 3 different characters, ride different animals, and even beat the hell out of those little gnomes. I hate them so much. To collect meat and magic.
So much.
So, Handsome Tom, what is your favorite part about Golden Axe?
Why, that would be the gnomes, Craig.
What?
What? Speaking of things I watched on YouTube, did you know that they a few years ago, in 2020, I believe, during the pandemic, they made a playable demo, a mock-up of a reboot of Golden Axe in traditional side-scrolling action, and it was axed. Hence, it got the name Golden Axed. And you can actually find gameplay of it on YouTube. It's only like a 3 to 5 minute demo, but they made it in 2 weeks. It was fascinating. So, yeah.
And yet another example of just because a game's hard doesn't mean it sucks.
Look at that
Battletoads
gameplay,
would
how
beat
shady
you
this looks.
down and make you like it. If you beat this game, even with the Game Genie, you're the freaking man.
Widely thought as one of the most difficult games ever, the Toads didn't just defeat the bad guys, they beat them down. Giant fists, ramming headbutts, and punching people into the ground, followed up by a punt. In the face.
In the face.
For its time, were pretty outstanding, and the music, not bad either. If you can't stand this game, it's because you are a girly man and can't beat it.
Hey, when was the last time you did the turbo tunnel? I did the turbo tunnel probably, 5 years ago. And by some miraculous, like, God's plan, somehow I made it through the turbo tunnel, just going back and forth. I remembered it. I remember at the very end, up and down, up and down, up and down. Anyways, good stuff. Man, Battletoads, I remember we had a challenge that if anybody could beat Battletoads in 2 players, we'd give them something. And I remember somebody uploaded a video of them playing like Battletoads with 2 players and beating it. That's got to be one of the hardest things Like legitimately one of the hardest challenges in the history of gaming is beating Battletoads 2-player, beating any beat 'em up 2-player simultaneous, where you're jumping up and you're losing lives because your other players can't keep up. It's stupid. Oh, let's go!
The main
Little
reason
Streets of Rage.
was produced was to counterbalance the dominance the Super Nintendo had in the beat-em-up department. It was crazy popular, and the series didn't even reach its peak until the second game.
Well, like, why the hell are we... Like, we have stupid things like this guy pop up. It's crazy. Look at this crazy. Look at this guy. He's crazy. Just putting stupid clip art we find online in our
Until the
videos.
second game.
Streets of Rage 2 was bigger, had more characters, and was just plain better all the way around. The only thing we missed in the first game that wasn't in the second is your backup.
That was so fun. Just the cop car coming in and just destroying everything. You can tell these, by the way, these graphics, like, we had not found our way yet. Like this lower third here, I made all this stuff using free programs on my MacBook Pro or my MacBook. I didn't even have a MacBook Pro. I had a MacBook. And it was free programs that I had, and I just learned how to make these things. And that's kind of one of those things that you got to learn how to do. You know, you just learn how to use things. And now with YouTube, you have the opportunity to learn things instantaneously. I go to the University of YouTube every day to learn something new that someone knows something. So I got to Google it, whether it's learning how to flush out, like, I don't know, things in the ground outside in your yard. I got some like moles making tunnels outside, so I gotta like get rid of those, or whether it's learning something in Photoshop. I learn all sorts of stuff on YouTube. It's crazy.
Some consider
man.
the granddaddy of all.
Great tune,
but
man.
all agree River City Ransom must be on this list.
This NES classic took kicking ass and made it fun by beating the coin out of people's asses. Literally.
Use a bat, use a whip, use
Beating
your
the
freaking
coin.
partner, just as long as you get the job done. And while you're doing it, read your opponents as they beg for mercy. Barf!
You know what's funny about that is I know a lot of people love River City Ransom. It's number 5 on our list. I think that was more of or number 6. That was more of a Tom thing than me. I never really got into it. I know there's the River City Girls game that came out a couple years ago, which people really if I recall, people really enjoyed that one. They saw it as like a great spiritual successor. But there were a lot of things in River City Ransom that obviously were carried over to later games. Obviously, much later games. It was definitely ahead of its time. The experience system and the inventory and that was pretty advanced stuff for a beat 'em up at the time. And maybe I just couldn't wrap my stupid, feeble little brain around it because I just wanted to punch and kick things and throw things and eat meat that was you got out of tires like in Final Fight.
The sleeper on the list. Now, a lot of people have never heard of Guardian Heroes because it was on the short-lived Sega Saturn.
Okay, allow me to just throw in here right now. If someone was to be like, hey, Guardian Heroes was number 5 on your top 10 list of beat 'em ups, I would go, what the shit are you talking about? Because I don't remember this at all.
But it was good. Real good.
Hey, beat 'em
This
up
was
actually
definitely
had
a Tom
deep
game.
Storyline and different paths.
But I do
Imagine
remember
that.
making this.
The paths not only changed the levels, but could also change the final boss.
If you
Interesting.
thought 2 players playing at one time was cool, try 6. Yeah, 6 players at one time in
What's up,
Guardian Heroes.
boobs?
Yes.
That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. 6 players on a 6-player beat 'em up. I can only think of one game, maybe X-Men, that had another 6-player beat 'em up. But on a console, that's insane.
A classic in every sense of the word, Final Fight took beat 'em ups and gave them a suplex.
That was definitely my script. The way that a classic in every sense of the word. That's how I would, But you can tell. I can always tell the stuff that I wrote. By the way, speaking of Final Fight, apparently people didn't like the Super Nintendo version of Final Fight. Like I guess it's looked back on poor. I mentioned this SNES Works show that I watch all the time. I love watching classic stuff. It's like a new version of the Video Game Vault. I watched this show on YouTube called NES and SNES Works, and the guy really ragged on Final Fight on the Super Nintendo, and I thought it was great. I love Final Fight on the Super Nintendo. I just, there was only 2 players. You can only play as Hagar and Cody, and obviously the footage here has Guy, which I don't know, maybe we got this from Final Fight Guy or something, which would have been crazy. But I just thought that was just a limitation because it was the Super Nintendo versus the arcade, but whatever.
By making the lead character an ass-kicking, muscle-bound, steroid-using
Yeah.
mayor.
Mike Hager here. Think about that. He's
Mike
a mayor
Hager
with
here.
3% body fat that is literally killing off the same voters who got him elected to begin with. Most mayors are all talk. Hager is all action.
When you get a totally ripped guy who looks like he could be in a Hanes commercial, a karate man who's a staple in Street Fighter games, you've got yourself one badass game.
I'm guessing that was arcade gameplay because, I mean, clearly there's Guy. Oh, there's Guy. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't the Super Nintendo version. Double Dragon, let's go!
That you don't already know. It played well, it has memorable music, and it's just plain fun.
It's a classic for sure.
The original of the series is the best and had some seriously memorable moments, like fighting 2 Abobos and the chick whipping your ass. And of course,
You can't say chick!
this.
If you don't know about Double Dragon, what are you gonna do next time your girlfriend gets punched in the stomach? Exactly.
Gotta throw reference to Double Dragon, the movie in. I'll say this. This list is definitely, this list would be absolutely obliterated today, right? No, like, you know, maybe 1 or 2 of these games would be on this list, on today's list. But if you were to say classic beat 'em ups, you know, this kind of handles okay, I guess.
At the height
Oh,
of
The
their popularity,
Simpsons, let's
It's
go!
one of the best beat 'em ups in arcade
Interesting.
history. It's just a shame we can't show you any gameplay footage of it. Otherwise, we get our asses sued.
Granted, there was a
That's
PC version,
hilarious.
but it was so lame. If we did
What a callback, man. What an insane callback. Okay, there was a time where Fox was suing companies for just showing footage of The Simpsons. This was so early on the internet where companies didn't understand how to handle that it could be a good use of promotion. So the traditional media companies were scared shitless. So if you showed people, like, you can't do that, you can't use our, they wanted to treat it like traditional TV where you have to license all the footage and stuff. That's crazy. What a callback that is, man. What a product of its time.
show it, we'd have to kill ourselves and take it off the list.
Jeez, that's
Let's give you a recap
crazy
for
to
it's
think
number
about.
1. Number 10.
Wow.
Batman Returns.
All right. I'm pretty sure number 1 is going to be Turtles in Time. This is probably the earliest reference to Turtles in Time we had. So let's find out.
Number 4, Final Fight.
Number 3, Double Dragon.
Number 2, please don't sue us, The Simpsons arcade game.
Guy kind of looks like John Cena, doesn't he? Kind of looks like in a weird way, kind of like an early 2000s John Cena. Huh. Just gonna stare at him sideways. Yep, there we go.
You know what it tells you?
Still holds
It tells
up.
you that Ninja Turtles and time travel is the best beat 'em up experience ever.
It looked great, it sounded great, and most importantly, it played great. You had total control over your turtle. If someone was coming up from behind you, bam!
Bam!
Chin. You want to throw a guy at the screen? You throw that guy at the screen. It's that much fun. Turtles in Time, best beat 'em up ever.
It had all your favorite characters, all 4 turtles, the Rat King, Toka, Razor. As a matter of fact, the only thing it was missing was Vanilla Ice.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Let's see. We got 19 seconds left, and it's... let's see if I can play. Go, Ninja. Go, Ninja. Go. Oh, man. Freeze frame on that. Let's go. Always got to finish with a little bit of copyright infringing music there. That's good stuff. Man, okay, so obviously a lot there. Turtles in Time, still amazing. I don't know if Double Dragon would still be number 3 on the list. I don't know. Double Dragon, maybe Mode B. I've always been partial to Mode B. But Double Dragon, it's iconic in its own way, shape, and form. But it's interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts on what games should be on that list. And I hesitate because I think, what about, what games of today? Obviously, I think of games like Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is just a phenomenal beat 'em up game. But there's so many good beat 'em ups that have come out over the last, think of, God, what was that? What was that game that recently came out? Obviously, Streets of Rage 4 came out, which everybody loved. We got the new Ninja Turtles coming out, which, by the way, speaking of, I've had a lot of people ask me if I would play that on a stream. Maybe I don't even know when I think it comes out later this year. So maybe I will stream the new Ninja Turtles game when it comes out, and that'd be once again over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/StutterandCraig, which circles it back once again. If you have that Amazon Prime, go over and support your boy. By supporting me, you're actually going to help subsidize some of the girls on my soccer team being able to play competitive soccer. So I greatly appreciate your support over there. You can go down to the PayPal link down below or use your super thanks, however you want to do it. It's greatly appreciated. I appreciate all your support. Once again, let me know what you would like to see me react to. It doesn't have to be ScrewAttack stuff. I want it to be all over classic internet stuff. Maybe one day we'll take a look at like those awesome G.I. Joe, pork chop sandwiches and things like that, and all the old commercials. Maybe we'll do Homestar Runner one day. But this channel is built around the idea of taking you back to a simpler, easier time where everybody liked each other and the internet was fun. So there you go. You guys have an excellent day. Thank you so much for your support. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Time. Let's continue to grow just a little bit more. You guys have a great day. People are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go. Go get it. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.